Mirubchem. It's not because of your numbers, but rather because whenever he gives us a status or greatness, we always minimize ourselves. Like you find Avraham Avinu, although he was in the Seal Okim, he says, Anochi Ofer Vefer. Moshe Rabbeinu was going to what is the Goyal, took the Jews out of Egypt, split the sea. He says, Nachnu Mo. But yet, when you see all these other ones, the Goyim, each one, you give him a little bit of power, he's already in competition with God. Rolling over, we left off by Chirum. It's a Perek Sheni, first column, about 10, 15 lines down. Omer of Rav Vitem Reb Yoch Godel Shenemar B'Moshe V'Aaron Yosef Mashet Nemar B'Avrom. We find it is greater what is said of Moshe and Aaron than we find what's said regarding Avrom. Avrom Ksiv Elchi Of Ve'Efer V'ilu B'Moshe V'Aaron Ksiv V'Nachnu Mo. What are we? Uchsiv Hosam Tol Eretz Al Blimo. Hashem suspends the earth over nothingness. Rotz Lomar. Ki roili shel kol asher Hashem yisborach noselem gedula lahaktin atzmon. He says, it's something which is appropriate that the more Kodesh Baruch Hu esteems us and reveres us and elevates us, we minimize ourselves. By the Goyim, it's just the opposite. The more he gives them, it inflates them. They become more arrogant. Why, when it comes to the Klal Yisrael, we minimize ourselves? The more he identifies us, we minimize ourselves. Because in what context does our greatness manifest itself? It's within spirituality, right? I am your king, Kodesh Baruch Hu, right? Took us. I will give you this, or whatever it is. I give you the Torah. What is he giving us? He's not inviting us to a 20-course meal, in some, restaurant that's written up in who knows where. Okay? Speaking Howard's language. Hagashmi. In what context does the greatness and the empowerment of the nations of the world manifest itself? In physicality, in Gashmi. Therefore, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him the greatness and the acknowledgement and the distinction, of course, it's in that area. It's like Moshe Rabbeinu, when he came to be the advocate on Klaus the Chet Egel, he says, Dizov, the Gemara says in Brochus, if a person has a son, and you put him on, you dress him in the finest clothing, and you give him cologne to wear, and you put a gold chain around his neck, and a gold purse with money, and you tell him, walk in front of a brothel. You don't expect him to go into the brothel. You gave them so much wealth, what they took from Egypt, what they found, what they took into sea. What do you expect them? Not to do the Egel Azov. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu, that's his defense. And that's what he said as the advocate. So what does that mean? What did he give us? He gave us material. When you have the material, what happens to a person? You become intoxicated. You lose your mind. You become unstable. So when Kodesh Baruch Hu gives, but what relevance does the guy have to greatness or distinction? It all manifests itself in power, material. That's what it is. So therefore, they take it to another level. Klal, the distinction is what? Is in the spiritual realm. So therefore, we're tempered. Therefore, we could stay humble. Because the whole idea of gaiva has relevance only to the material, not to the spiritual. Wait, one second. We're talking about Kodesh Baruch Hu, and that's Jews become wealthy. You have Yishvin, Yishun, V'Yavot. They also become. Klal Yisrael is a Klal Yisrael. Look, Tam Shlomo Melech. It was the height of our spirituality. No, but it can. No. But see, if it's a byproduct, there it's a byproduct. This is like I said, Yaakov was wealthy, but where did the wealth emanate from? From the spirituality. It didn't start from the material. Here, everything starts from the material. You understand? One, if it starts from the spiritual and it's there to facilitate the spiritual, okay? So even when you have the material, its value is not the material. There, when they're given the material, what is it given for? To address their what? Their needs, their physical needs. So they become intoxicated. What? Yeah, it's a consequence. With us, it's a consequence. With them, that's what it is. Well, giving you, have a good time. Tell a person to have a good time. What happens to him? Okay? Maybe he becomes inflated. Okay, that fuels the gaiva. Therefore, they become more pompous, more self-centered. Gaiva is a characteristic of the physicality of the human being. It's the ego. I was thinking as I was reading this, Mishnah says in Pirkei Avos, the Chaim HaKadosh says that when the Gemara says Barasi Yitzhara, Barasi Torah Tavlin, that the only time Torah is an antidote for the Yitzhara, that's only Torah L'Shma. When you study Torah Shema, if you study Torah Shlo L'Shma, it's not an antidote. It doesn't diffuse the Yitzhara. That's what he says. He says, you see, people learn. It takes heavy Yitzhara, right? Why? Right? With all, they have the whole package of the Yitzhara. He says, of course, they don't, but if you study Lishma, that's when it's the antidote. So the way I explained it was, when you study Shlo Lishma, what are you actually doing? You're taking something which is spiritual, and you miss the point. You're using it within the physical realm. You're not studying Torah for the Torah. You're taking the Torah, you're playing it in the hands of the Yitzhara. You're bringing the Torah into his domain. You have Torah, which is the ultimate, which is spiritual, and you should do it for the sake of God. And what do you do it for? For the sake of yourself. So it's already in the clutches of the Yitzhara. So it's in the clutches of the Yitzhara. Of course, it's not going to diffuse him, right? That's the understanding. So im lamadat the Torah harbe al tafsir tov la'atzmacha. It says in Pirkei Avos. If you studied and moments about Torah, don't pride yourself. But you were created for that. It's the same idea. Torah is what? That's spiritual. But what about if you pride yourself? What are you doing? You're taking the Torah, using it as a way to advance yourself. You're priding yourself. You're ingratiating yourself. So you're taking something which is the ultimate, and you're putting it into the physical realm.
What do you mean by priding yourself? You mean boasting, bragging?
You feel you're better than other people because you studied the Torah. You don't have to even verbalize it. If you feel you're fortunate is not priding yourself. Say, Baruch Shelo Sani Goy, thank God I'm not a Goy. Okay, that's not priding. You feel you're fortunate. It's not priding yourself. You don't pride yourself that you're not a drunkard, right? You pride yourself you're not a drunkard. It's a problem. Or I pride myself. I always give the example: a person who works for a company. He doesn't get the bonus. So he says, why? He says, I don't steal. That's why I deserve a bonus. I mean, that's what you're supposed to. That's what you're supposed to behave, right? That's baseline behavior. To pride yourself that you don't steal. A person understands what an upright human being is. That's what you're supposed to be. L'kach tzorta. But the moment you start priding yourself, what are you doing to the Torah? You're taking it. Giving it a physical characteristic. So of course, it's not going to be diffused by the Yitzhara. It's not going to diffuse the Yitzhara. It's not a tavlin for that reason.
But you mentioned even if you don't say anything, but you derive satisfaction from studying Torah.
No, we're not talking about Saturday. We're not talking about pleasure.
You feel very elevated by studying.
So what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it.
When we are able to overcome our Yitzhara, or we are able to learn more, it's really about that we're supposed to do it. That's like, it's not, you shouldn't feel prideful about that.
Fortunate. You feel fortunate, right? We were chosen for all nations. You're fortunate. You feel privileged. You are privileged. But priding is something else. Priding is the therefore. Am I privileged? Baruch Hashem, I'm privileged. Priding is something that's another thing. So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them that distinction in this world, it's a distinction of material, So they what? They expand on it. They magnify it. Al Yisrael mitzad shem kedoshim nivdolim in agashmis. But Klal Yisrael who are sanctified and they're removed from the material. And what is that distinction? Chol malosom elokis. The distinction of Jew is his spiritual characteristics, his spiritual profile. That's the innate value of the Jewish people. It's not our might. It's not kochiv yotzim yodi, right? Esav, it's hayidayim de Esav. What's Yaakov? Yaakov is kol Yaakov. That's Klal Yisrael. Kol Yaakov is Torah and Tefillah. That's what it is. Vein roy lumas rak gdula gashmis. Ulefich umas kasher Hashem yisborch noslem gdula mizgoyim od yoser. Ad shekol kach gdulosam, ad she mordim HaKadosh Baruch Hu negayvosam. What do? They go and they rebel against, they fire Hashem because of their belief in themselves. As he gave the examples, Mi Hashem Hashem Melekolo, Paro installs him to be the king of the most advanced civilization, and he has this arrogance, Mi Hashem Hashem Melekolo. Yisrael Sheishlam Gedula Elokis. The distinction is godliness, is spirituality. Kol Sheishlam Malo Elokis Nimtzo Bohanovo. Oshomer Eitzla Hashem Yisborch Komokom Shtramotzi Gduloso. Wherever you find God's presence, God Himself, you find Advenusu, Lamalo, Ulakach, Kolocha, Agdula, Yosef, Yisrael, Vim Yosef, Agim al Hamadreg Elokis, the more we advance spiritually, Nimsa Bemanova Yosef, Mati Matzva. It's interesting. It's interesting. All Gedola Yisrael, a person who's a true Godel. I'm talking about a person who's a great Talmud Chacham. Means nothing. Right? Whatever it is. Talk about a true Godel. Not a person who passes himself off for a Godel. Every one of them, one is more humble than the next. Why? Because these people are spiritualized. That's the reason. Because if you have Torah, and that's what it is, they display that. But if a person, he has a phenomenal head and he gets ahead and he wants the pride and he wants the recognition, and that's what drives him. So even though you have this tremendous amount of knowledge, but sometimes you see certain behavior in some people, like you're amazed. You're amazed how they behave. If you're supposed to be this Talmud Chacham, is that the way you behave? You don't behave this way. Once went to a wedding many years ago. And there was a certain person, and supposed to be a Talmud Chacham, and but it's clear he had a big chip on his shoulder, this person. And he used to, the way he earned a living, he oversaw Dinei Torah. People had a dispute. You go to a Din Torah, you charge a fee. And he was like, he traveled all over the world for Dinei Torah, this person. That's what he did, and he made a very nice living. He was a Torah, So what happened was, so for some reason he was this person's wedding. It was Joe Ambelu's wedding when Joe got married in Israel. So Joe doesn't know this one. See, he made him into an aid kedusha. He was one of the witnesses under the chuppah. See, he was insulted. He thought he'd have it. The reading of the ksuba, the last. See, he says to me, because I officiated, I was Masada Kedushin. So even though, if you're not part of Rabbanut, you're not permitted, in those days. You can't, it's against the law. So you had to get permission from the rabbi of the community, the chief, whoever he waived it. That's why I was able, okay? So he has an eighth Kedushin. So he goes over to the chos and he says, to be an aide, you have to be kosher. I'm not sure if I'm such a tzaddik that I'm qualified to be a witness. Yeah, he's playing the humility card, this guy, in a real strongly. So we picked up on it immediately, Joe picked up. Give him a bracha, okay? Gives him a bracha. I said, Joe, give him a bracha, whatever the bracha give him. Gives him the bracha, comes under the chuppah. He says the wrong bracha. Hashem gave him the payback, okay? I'm just saying, this is the story. I mean, if you would have called Rav Moshe, you call any of these people, whatever you give me, it's enough. It's irrelevant what you give me, It's not important. So this person, does he focus on this spiritual development? Whatever it is. That's what we're talking about. No, that's something else. No. It's a Gemara. It's Gemara Sanhedrin. We have the Gemara. When you're exposed to that level of covet, it's dangerous. He was afraid of that it may affect him gaiva-wise. That's what he's afraid. Yeah, of course. No, he's worried. Yeah, of course. You know, you're afraid what it could do to you. You never know what covet. He had no problem.
Because some other, in their famous argument, I learned from that. He was there. I said nothing.
And the truth is, these things insulted.
I didn't. I was coming from the United States. What did I know? I never met the man before my life. I don't think Joe Ree even knew who he was. He was there from the other side. It wasn't his person. See, in Israel, in those days, they didn't have party planners. Okay, so what could you do?